All right, so here we go. Your body is composed of cells. We are made of blood, tissue, bone, right? At least so you think. So your body is composed of these cells. When you break your cells down, they become molecules. When you break your molecules down, they become quantized or quantum particles, hence quantum physics. When you break those down into further, they become strings or vortexes of little energy. So your whole body is a compound of different vibrational patterns of strings or energy, hence quantized quantum physics. So they oscillate. Actually, they don't vibrate. Nothing actually vibrates. Everything oscillates. But you could call it vibration, or it's the same principle, but everything oscillates. So you're in a constant state of moving. So if you ever feel like you're stuck, you're never stuck. There's things going on behind the scenes. All right, next level now, the mind. So you have a thinking, rational mind, conscious, ego. You have a middle mind, critical divide. You have a subconscious mind. The mind now creates thoughts. The brain has cells, neurons, neurites, synapses, dendrites. The brain processes information in the form of energetic waves, photons, light, electrochemical stuff from outside the universe. Okay, outside of you and I is what we call space. This is space. Interwoven in space is what we know as time, hence space-time. Space is like a fabric. You can rip, it can bend, it can actually tear. You can tear a hole through space, hence a black hole. So your space around you is movable. Hence we call this a holographic universe, because everything is permeable, everything is malleable. Holographic in the sense that everything lies on a two-dimensional surface, but every information within you and I has the whole of a hologram. A hologram, if you take a piece of a hologram, it has exactly everything of the whole hologram. Inside your DNA is the same component. Your thoughts, next level. When you think something, you can see an image or a feeling. You see it in your mind, but you don't see it in the physical world. Why is that? Because in this field is consciousness, your awareness. And consciousness is connected to every other consciousness. We are all connected. We call that the collective subconscious. You can think of someone, they can think of you. Information is constantly being streamed. Information, we call it qubits. Everything is actually made from information. When you get down to the quantum, past the quantum level, past string theory level, you get to information. Atoms are made of information, little qubits. So you are an informational structure constantly giving off information. Hence, you attract what you think and you feel. You're constantly communicating to the universe through your vibration or oscillation, which is through what? Your thoughts. Hence, your thoughts create your world. Why is that? Let's go back. Thoughts, electromagnetic wave patterns, right? You and I are the same thing. Everything is information. They're constantly communicating. When you think a thought repeatedly, it starts to come into your world. Eventually, you experience it. Subconscious mind, the most powerful part of your consciousness. It leads to what's called your higher self. Your higher self is a part that can communicate beyond the universe or into another dimensional portal of the universe. We call it space-time. We call it different dimension, whatever you want to call it. It goes further than your mind can think of it, or what is called your thinking rational mind. When you activate your subconscious mind, it can go out and it can interact with your conscious mind to get you what you want. Okay, next level, conscious and subconscious. Your conscious mind is the thinker, your subconscious is the doer. Your conscious mind can tell your subconscious mind what to do. If everything is in alignment, your subconscious will listen to your conscious mind, hence alignment, hence you get manifestation. Let me repeat that again. When the conscious mind communicates with the subconscious mind, and they agree. We call that alignment. This is where you manifest things. Now, next level. The subconscious and the conscious aren't always in agreement. The conscious holds its own beliefs. Key point, most of your dominant, or what we call dominant beliefs, are stored in your subconscious, real beliefs. Your conscious has what I call empirical beliefs, or what we call physical. You call it theoretical. It's a belief based on reality and perception. A subconscious holds a belief based on a program, sort of like a computer. So when the subconscious holds a different belief and the conscious holds a different belief, you get misalignment. This is why you get struggle. Sometimes you have to force and try, and you don't get what you want. Okay, that's the next level. Now, special gifts and abilities. Every single human being has the ability to telepathically communicate to each other or beyond. Quantum entanglement. When the universe began, everything was one. And when the universe spread out, everything spread out, but they were still entangled. That means you are entangled with whatever desire you want. Multiverse, universe. Universe, no more. Multiverse is looking like it. Multiverse, infinite copies of you and I exist. You can tap into these different versions through consciousness, communicate, receive information, get it in real time. Go back to space and time. Time now has particles. It's called chronons. They're actually looking for it. So time is woven into this. When you can see something in your mind, you can achieve it. Very, very true, because again, the mind interacts with the holographic universe. Holographic universe, every information is out there. So if I sit down or I meditate and I think of something I would like every night before I go to bed, I'm interacting with the field. The field interacts back to me by communicating to me through vibrations or oscillations or my feelings. I get an answer. It also communicates to me through my dreams and my intuition. Intuition, higher development, higher self. There resides a part out of you that doesn't interact with the physical world. It's known as your soul, authentic self, higher self. It's your consciousness. It can permeate through everything. It can see your entire field of line. It gives you intuition. It gives you insight. It gives you information. All this is passed through your subconscious, then passed to your conscious, critical mind to interpret it, and then put you on a path to take what's called an inspired action to receive your goal. Got that? Next level, seeing beyond. When you are connected to your higher self, you enter a state of knowing. No more believe in. Believe, yes, start off by building thoughts to that. But when you know something, it takes you to a level of expectation. When you can master expectation, you can interact with that field to create what you want in a more timely fashion. The illusion of time. Linear time. Time is always happening now. The future is now. Linear time, a concept human beings made up, doesn't actually exist. We made that up. Everything exists in the present moment. Again, when the universe began, it began now. It's expanding right now. Everything you want is in the state of now. How can you be in the now? The now means that you are in a state of creation. Hence, everyone talk about be present. Be in the now. You hear a lot of teachers. You got to be present. You got to be focused. You got to be in the now. Why is it so important? Because everything can only happen in the now. Your brain perceives things differently according to what we call time variables. Got that? Next level, resistance allowance. Whenever you want something to come into your world, it's a state of allowance. Whenever you want something and it doesn't come into your world, it's a state of resistance. And let's go back to the field. Energy in this field. Resistance is primarily created two places, subconscious, but mainly conscious. Resistance is pushing against energy. We live in an attraction-based universe. Things are always moving towards you. Resistance comes in the form of fear, of doubt, of worry, low self-confidence, just not believing in yourself. And it's propagated by our environment, where we live. We see a lot of stuff about fear, doubt. It reciprocates into our subconscious and becomes a new program and repeats, and we create resistance. What is allowance? Allowance is the opposite of all of those things. Allowance is the ability to live in peace, expectation, optimism, faith, knowing it is coming, seeing the vision, keeping it going, and getting out of your way. That is allowance. Everything comes through the field. Next level, law of creation, how it all creates. Whenever you think of a thought repeatedly, it takes that information or qubits, it goes into the field. Consciousness takes the thought, organizes it, higher self, goes back out, comes back in. Two places of creation: physical, etherical, or spiritual. Spiritual, nothing to do with religion. Let's talk about physical and etherical. Physical is what we perceive. We call it physical stuff, real stuff, right? We also call it, well, we have a special name for that. We actually call it carbon. Everything is made of a carbon copy. You and I are carbon-based matter. In the etherical, there's none of that. It's immaterial. It's quantized. It's invisible fields of energy, particles, waves, or probabilities. Everything is actually a wave. A wave becomes a potential becomes an actual thing. So I have to get from a potential to an actual thing is a repetition of focus, meditation, thoughts, etc. Meditation is very important there. Once you start to focus, you interact with the invisible field. The field sends the information into the physical field. The physical field puts it out to you. Creation from inside out, not outside in. Next level. You can only create from within, because from within creates the external world. Physical, immaterial world. How does that work? You are the only person who is aware of yourself. No one else has an awareness of you, a self. You can get up, you can think, you can move. That's called an awareness. The next person has their own awareness. Therefore, what you think about creates a vibration. Remember the oscillation. It goes out, it interacts with the other field or other people, and they start to come into your world, hence you create your world. That's from within, creates outward. The cause, effect. That's how it works. What master these laws, study them, apply them, and you will change your world to create a better life.